Okay, welcome everybody. It's Community Matters, a committee meeting for Wednesday, 25th of September, and we've just passed the 7:30 mark. So first of all, just normal housekeeping. We don't expect any fire alarms this evening, but if indeed we do get any noises that sound anything like anything going off, our exits are straight down there, obviously not down the lift, and there's the exit behind us as well. And we'll assemble over in the car park across the road. I think that's all that we need to cover on that one. Apologies for absence. We have dispensations at the moment for both Bob Cartwright and Martin Dowling, both due to ill health, but we've got everybody else here and present. Excellent. Okay, we'll first, declarations of interest first. So we'll just run around. Janet, should we start with you? Anything on to declare?
None that I know of.
None that I know of. None that I'm aware of. None that I'm aware of.
And the Portishead employment bit volunteer, but that's all we need to know. Nothing, nothing bikini or anything. Okay, item number 4, just our verbal update. We're going to share tag team on this again, aren't we? for just a little bits and pieces. So we've got the Lake Gowns changing places facility update. We are on the cusp of it being operational. We're just in the phase where it's being handed over from sort of sign off, really, I guess, from North Somerset across to the team that are going to be running it. Still a few, I want to say sort of teething issues, but just access and things like that, which are being confirmed, and some additional signage, which is going to be needed actually on the door as well. So we are, I think, when it was hopefully in touch and distance, but we'll still keep it on the agenda here because it's such an important asset, certainly for the type of asset that it is, but obviously for us as a town as well. Next update that we've got is on the BSIP Transport Hub, or the programme really, I guess, for Portishead in its entirety. I have emailed Rob, who was the officer that was here at our full town council meeting. We obviously, what we want to be able to do is to be able to get together an engagement session where we run through everything, both the presentation that they've got, but also a number of questions which we've started to collate, either from feedback that we've received or feedback from social media as well. So that will include things like the scope, what we can and can't do, what we're looking at with the transport hub, what the monies are allowed to be spent on, just to put more ideas into the plans, along with what our milestones are to be able to report back into the project as well. We're obviously aware that there's consultants which are going to be appointed within the next month or two, and the plans which are going to be rolling on from there. So we're talking about suitability of the location, other things that we need to take into account, and obviously liaising as well with the residents that we've got, which are in the bus forums, and obviously Mike as our lead councillor when he's back as well. So I guess it's a bit of a watch this space. So the plan is our engagement sessions proper were meant to be sort of kicking off from October, but what we're going to do is actually push back the normal rollout for those to November, and use the October opportunity to actually get that BSIP meeting and engagement session sorted out with all of our residents, just to give everybody an opportunity in that sense to be able to sort of feed in, and then obviously us collate that and feed that back into the North Somerset team as well. Okay, next point here is pretty sort of hot off the press. 4.3 councillor vacancy for the West Ward. So we've had confirmed by the officer down in North Somerset today that there will be a poll that is going to be set for Thursday the 5th of December as at the moment. It will be confirmed on the 31st of October, and published into the websites. But as I said, at the moment, the expected date for that poll to be run for the West Ward is Thursday, the 5th of December. And yeah, if anybody is aware of anybody that like to stand, or anybody that, you know, all of the information will be published on the 31st of October. Yeah, everybody can sort of follow the instructions in terms of what they needed to do there. 4.4 is just again sort of promoting and knowledge. We've got an additional residents meeting which is being held, but I say I'm not talking on behalf of the council in that sense, but it's a residents meeting that's going to be called, and that's on the 29th of October, and that is going to be in the folk hall, which has already been sort of allocated for that evening. Again, we're going to be
available online, etc.
All of the regular information and all the regular points on the socials and on the website as well. But again, we'll do as much as we can to publish that information, and we've got a number of councillors that are due to attend those as attendees as well. I've got another, just before we come to 4.5, I've just got another couple of items to add to that, and I kind of just sort of mentioned it before, but our engagement sessions, we've got the calendar of those now set. So as of the new year, we're going to be doing those on the last Friday of the month, from 2 p.m. till between 5 and 6 p.m. down in the folk hall. They're going to be run as sort of just drop-ins. So we're going to have a schedule of those topics, excuse me, which are going to be available as sort of, you know, static updates that we can provide everybody, but at the same time just allowing people to kind of, you know, drop in, raise their concerns, speak to their councillor, and, you know, see how they go. So the sessions for November and December are going to be the third Friday of the month, and that's just because of where Christmas is falling, and also a pre the folk hall's pre-booked for the last Friday. So yeah, so as of January, last Friday in the month, and the third Friday in the month for November and December. And then the next sort of off agenda point that I wanted to kind of say was just a congratulations and a note of thanks, really. The Fair Trade team have had Portishead actually adopted as a Fair Trade town this week, so that's been published, and we just wanted to pass on our thanks to everybody, and especially, we know, Sue Mason's been working on that for, I think it's since the proper sort of adoption of the group in 2019. So yes, our thanks to Sue, but also to the team there as well. Okay, so 4.5, we've split this on the agenda because although we wanted to keep them on the agenda, what we wanted to make sure that we kind of sort of separate out where we've got particular additions, and also if there's any sort of updates that we've got from updates from the PRAM meeting that was held back on the 15th of May. So as I said, we've separated these out on the agenda now, so those which we haven't necessarily got any further updates since the last meeting, and those which we have. So I think I spoke about it in the last meeting, but we've got a couple of initiatives that we're looking at in terms of supporting the pharmacies. So we're conducting sort of fact finding at the moment in terms of the identification of pinch points, and also where the council, without sort of overstepping its mark, is able to support residents in accessing more technology driven sort of means of getting in touch with pharmacies, looking at their you know, updates via the NHS app for record, you know, sort of their record updates and things like that. So our next phase is to alongside sort of dealing with the view from the pharmacy is to look at the surgeries as well. So in the next month or two, given how available the contacts in the surgeries are, we're going to be liaising with both of our surgeries here in Portishead as well, just to kind of understand their pinch points and their recommendations in terms of where they can do as well. So